Hey everybody, so it's me here and my buddy Rhett, who's becoming more active. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much of that you could hear, but she was talking. I think she said that's terrible. She says that a lot. I think when me and my wife talk, a lot of times we tell each other about things that happen to other people and all that, and I think we say that's terrible a lot. So she says that. Um, so it's kind of funny. Um, But yeah, so yesterday I got the Angular 19 bug fixed. It was a timing error. It does remind me, it says basically I changed the um, timing. So basically what's happening is we had this lifecycle hook called ng after view event init. And apparently it is being applied before the CSS for this div is being applied. So then whenever it goes to set the dimensions of the space that the SVG is going to be drawn in, um, the height hasn't been set yet. So I remember the current job I have, which I am so grateful to have. It In that job at the interview, they actually asked, so what event would you, when something is not rendering on the screen, what event would you check? And I was like, oh, okay, so the first event was ng after view init, or I think I said after view, something like after view init, blah blah blah. And he was just like, oh yeah, that's right, that's exactly where it was. And I was just like, well, just to be clear, that doesn't always work. Sometimes, um, if when the timing, depending on the timing of different things that happen inside the Angular, um, you have to do this ng after view checked. But the problem is, the view checked runs, it attempts to run 60 times per second. So that means um, you typically don't want to be executing all these things 60 times per second. And that, um, I think that really helped me towards getting the job, is that understanding. I mean, I do think the ng view init was the answer he was looking for. I don't think he was aware of the after view checked, but here's a perfect example of that. And so whenever you do that, anytime you're going to use this after view checked, you're going to want to set some sort of local component level variable that you can set once it's done its job. Um, so that's that. Should commit this. I didn't really have time last time because I went too long. I know that's funny, huh, Brett? I don't know if you heard her laugh there, but actually, she's a ball. I really enjoy hanging out with her. I'm glad I'm getting to bring her in on this. So this is our one change. It's our one stage change. We have a couple of other changes, but this one was uh, changing. I don't know what this one did. It looks like, oh, we removed the router outlet that handles a warning, and then this one was a console log that we were using for debugging. Um, so this is really the only change we want. This is a nice way to do this, where you just kind of go through and look at the different changes. Now this change here, I would rather it be this um, warning. I'd rather that be in a commit that is about warnings, because I don't want anyone to get confused, mainly myself, but I wouldn't want someone to get confused looking at this and see the commit message that says fixes Angular 19 timing issue, um, and then thinking that this kind of had something to do with it. So I'm just going to say git commit, and I'm going to give it a message, and I'm going to mention the video that was done in. So that was video 315, and this is video that I'm working on is 316, and today is December 8th. Um, and it is 2024, and it's a Saturday, and this video will go out on December 11th. Um, anyways, we are going to fixes Angular 19 timing issue. And I would suspect in here, if I change this up a little bit, um, I could probably fix the resize issue that I'm dealing with. Um, Maybe I'll do that in the near future. Um, we are only going to work. I'm only going to work on this for another 23 days. So I don't know if I want to pick up another sort of round of fixes to do. I'm going to start a brand new version on the new year, and that new version, there's a bunch of reasons. One practical reason is I would like that to be in its own playlist. This I just kind of have a title and I have numbering, but I don't have it in a playlist, which some people have complained about. So I definitely would like to have everything like so you could see the application being built from day one all the way to whatever. Second of all, I I want to play around with the concept of having a tree structure that describes the entire view of the scenes and all of that, everything that's being rendered. And and then I want to use a thing that I found on ChatGPT called custom. The name of it would be custom aliasing, where I basically flatten that hierarchical structure into a flat structure, and then I create a series of dictionaries that keep information about what we're doing. So that's one thing. That's probably the thing that killed this application, where I was like, okay, I'm done working on this application. I really enjoy this work application. I think it's awesome, but unfortunately, I don't think I can retrofit all of that in a way that makes sense. Um, the other thing that I really regret on this, I really should have done it this way from the beginning, is I should have made everything work on an upload where you can do an upload from a file and download to a file. That actually reminds me of a question yesterday. In yesterday's video, um, I was talking to ChatGPT, and we were talking about a file structure that one of my awesome viewers uh, introduced me to. Um, and I had said, "Oh, I wonder if there's any 3D printers. Can 3D printers print with GLB files?" Um, let's see, no STL, OBJ, or AMF. That's interesting. So this is an interesting fact about 3D printers that I really wasn't um, was is very obvious, but I wasn't aware of, and that will plant into my brain, and I'll just know it, and I won't know why I know it, but I'll know it. Require purely geometric data such as triangles and vertices to build objects layer by layer. So that is good to know. Um, See, this is I would in the next right out of the gate. I would definitely want to build it to where when I resize the that stuff resizes too. All right, so now we did our import. I think the next task, and I don't know where my Visual Studio Code ended up. There it is. Um, the next task will be to do something along the lines of, I don't know, probably we'll try to do some import. Is some sort of this. A lot of times when you get like errors, import rules are deprecated. Um, so a lot of times when you see something like this, it'll tell you what they want you to do instead, and a lot of times they give you does not look like uh, doesn't look like that is the case in here. But I think this is huge. I think this is going to screw thousands and thousands of enterprise applications. And if like, and that, I think this is sort of is like kind of like my what I keep telling you and trying to tell everybody is Angular is the messenger most of the time. Like it's SASS people that decided to screw everything up, not the Angular people. They're just the ones telling you that, hey, I know you use add import, but these guys are getting rid of it. There's going to be a migrator. Okay, so they're saying they want you to use a different sort of importing system. And oh, okay, so they want you to use at use or at forward instead. So let's see if we can just do that. Let's see if it's that simple, or if they're full of it. Let's see. And I literally have never even heard of at use or at style or at forward. So let's see. So it's upset in about something that's in my styles.css. So the easiest way is probably just to select styles like that. Okay. So can I just change this to use and do all my problems? And I don't even know what. Oh, prevents a double scroll bar. So this was probably like something that would never fly in a production environment, but man, has it saved me some time. Okay, so the problem is that if I get rid of this, and probably the best way to do something like this is to do this. So now we've gotten rid of it, and what I'm saying is that in the double, that in here I end up with double scroll bars in certain conditions, and I don't remember exactly what it was. Um, and whatever the problem was might be gone, right? So I don't know exactly how um, to re to to re to make this bug happen. It would be kind of nice if I had said if I'd have had something in here on how to make it happen, but I don't know how to. So that's unfortunate. But the question is can I just change this from import to use? And it does not like that. Okay, let's go back to the SASS thing. And it said the other thing. So that is, I don't know. See, this is the hardest part, I think, uh, is I'm reading this. We're deprecating both SASS import and global built-in function that now use the module system. At use and at forward have been available. Oh, at use and at forward rules has been available for years. All right, so then I think I misread that. I think they're maybe saying that these two are going away too. Um, so I don't know how you convert from. So this would be like a good, um, um, like you could search for this and on Google and probably find the solutions, but in all likelihood, since this isn't really my strength, I probably would be way better off, or it'd be much faster for me to use ChatGPT to do this. Um, Maybe something that I could figure out. I probably could figure it out, but it I'm sure other people have gone down this path. So it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm a chicken. The egg. I don't have to create the egg. The I already came from an egg. There's probably some things where you're gonna have to be the egg creator for this whole system to work. Um, but anyways, in SASS, how can I convert from at import Oh my gosh. What the heck? Just, I guess at import to module includes. Oh, so yeah. See, it kind of, to me, gives me the impression that I could just use at use. Must be written before any other rules. Oh, okay. Oh. Sometimes reading really helps. So it looks like they're just saying, hey, you have to do this first. Oh my gosh, I hate when I do that. Control X, Control V. Okay, so that is not as brutal as I thought it was, but I do think it is. But it's not building. Um, I'm gonna kill this and restart. Um, it's not as brutal as I thought it would be, but it probably still will be a problem for places that do have a ton of these sorts of things, because a lot of times timing matters. You know, like in CSS, the rules that get executed and are sort of later in the system um, get a higher value. So like if two CSS rules have the same specificity, but one comes after the other, the one that came after the other is more valuable. So a lot of these things get built out sort of organically. And when you do stuff like that, then what happens is you end up with that came in handy for me, so I'm going to do that. So when you do it differently, when you change up the order, sometimes things break and you don't really know why, because it just changes the way the CSS is done. You know, it's just sort of one of those things where like CSS, most very few people are really really good at CSS. Like honestly, like whenever I work in a place, I would say that a lot of times I'll work there with like 30 developers, and you know the developers have different sorts of like focus. Like some of them are way back end, some are database, some of them are front end, and all that. I think that the vast majority of places that I've ever worked, no one has any idea what the word CSS specificity even means. And it's pretty simple concept to understand once you, if you just dig in and spend maybe 45 minutes. Like 45 minutes is probably major overkill for this, and it's critical. Like it's huge time savings and really really valuable to know CSS specificity. Um, like it's like this, but I don't. I rarely ever run into anybody that even knows it. And if you try to, if you try to, and you can't, you know, that you just run into troubles really fast. And most places that are setting up these sorts of systems don't even know CSS. They have never even heard of CSS specificity. And so, anyways, this is probably very much like GitHub or Git, the language Git, or the commands for Git, where it's fairly easy to get rolling on it, but like things get really weird pretty quickly if you don't understand the subtle differences in the language. But anyways, let's go ahead and do a commit on this one, and let's be really careful with all of it. So git commit dash m. So this is video 316, I believe. Yeah, video 3 and 6, and fixes or resolves. It's probably resolves a SASS import warning. And I do want to reiterate, like, this is not Angular's fault at all. Like, the Angular team has no problem, or they did not cause this problem. They're just staying with the latest SA, SASS, SASS, and SASS folks decided to get rid of import, and they did that for whatever reason. They decided to get rid of it. I don't even have the vaguest idea why they decided to get rid of import. Um, uh, why did SASS deprecate import? Um, but they are just the the messengers here. So this global space pollution is probably the reason that it's going to be so hard for most places to get away from import. Um, and yeah, that is true. And this is what's going to make it very, very hard to get rid of it. Um, and redundant and inefficient. Yeah, you see that a lot. People importing the same thing multiple times, and that's so that they can get the if like it'll fix a bug on one set of pages and then they go away, and then also another set of pages, so then somebody changes another import. Like, a lot of times people will just copy and paste to get things fixed and then not understand why it's working. Re-exporting. Modernization. It doesn't align with the principles of modernization. I'm glad this is way low on the list, because that is, I don't know, silly. Um, Encouraging, yeah, that is probably should be number one on the list. Is still supported. Use app forward now. So, anyways, yeah, that's that. 23 minutes, not too terrible. I've noticed I've gotten slower since Rhett is in these videos. I swear that is exactly how it is when you go to work. People just try to find other people to blame, and I blame Rhett. Rhett, why are you making these videos so slow? Huh? What are you up to here? I'm going to report you to the director. Anyways, of course, I'm not going to report Rhett. Everybody, happy coding. Bye.